Hello, Namaskar, Khamba Ghani people. Welcome back to our channel, Professor Tiwari. My name is Amrita and today we're going to continue with the same topic, autotrophic nutrition, that falls under the category of nutrition from the main topic from the content. So yesterday we have discussed about autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition, and in that we did a small differentiation. So let's continue with the autotrophic nutrition. So before moving forward in this topic, we're going to give a brief detail, or you can say a brief recap to what we have studied yesterday. Okay, so what we have studied yesterday, that autotrophic nutrition has, they are basically use CO2 and water as a main component. Okay, why CO2? Because all the you can say the organisms or the food molecules are based on the carbon. So because we are based on the carbon molecules, so the food that we need also need to have the carbon molecules present into them. Now, as we have discussed that the CO2, the CO2 and H2O, they both are being used basically as a raw material by two of the main living organisms, that is the plants and the bacteria. And what they do, they perform photosynthesis. So what was the equation for the photosynthesis? 6 CO2 plus 6 H2O will give, in the presence of sunlight in chlorophyll, what it will give? C6H12O6, that is glucose, plus 6 molecules of oxygen plus ATP. Okay, so this was the whole equation that we discussed yesterday. Now today we'll move forward from this. Like as I said that we need energy. So who produces energy? Who is the basic component, or what is the basic component that is being used in the formation of the energy? That is this glucose. This glucose produced in photosynthesis. Okay. Alright. This glucose is actually a carbohydrate. It is a carbohydrate. Okay. It is a carbs. Now what does carbs do? They provide energy. Carbohydrates provide energy. Okay. Like in the respiration process when it takes place, the carbohydrates converts into energy. Okay. Now a very important information, that few of the glucose molecules will be used to produce energy, or will be used by the plants, okay, as an immediate food product. But there will be a large amount of this glucose, or you can say the carbohydrate, has been made. So in that condition, what about the extra one? So extra glucose or extra carbs, what will happen with the extra carb? Stores or gets stored. It is stored in what form? In starch form. Okay. So extra carbohydrate, which is not used by the plant immediately after the photosynthesis process, will be stored in the form of starch. Okay. Starch is a stored form of energy. You can say stored form of energy. Okay. Now, moving ahead into this. See, just like plants or just like bacteria, those who perform photosynthesis, we animals, or you can say humans, because humans falls under the category of animals only, so that's why I'm taking the name of animals. Animals also have the stored form of energy. Okay, animals also have stored form of energy. Okay. Now this stored form of energy will not be starch, because starch is a complex carbohydrate and it is only being found in the plant or the bacteria, those who perform photosynthesis. Okay, so what will have it? They have it in the form of glycogen. Okay, so in animals or in humans, glycogen is the stored form of energy. Okay, just give a quick recap to it. As we know that for the autotrophic nutrition or for the autotrophic organisms, CO2 and H2O they both are the raw material which is being used. Okay, the equation for the photosynthesis is 6 CO2 plus 6 H2O in the presence of sunlight in chlorophyll gives the glucose, which is 6H12O6 plus 6 molecules of oxygen and ATP. This 6 molecules of oxygen is actually a byproduct, or you can say a secondary product, which is not used by the plant, so it is immediately released into the environment. Okay, now the glucose is produced in photosynthesis. So glucose has been produced in the photosynthesis, but glucose is a carbohydrate. It is a simple carbohydrate, so this produces energy. Okay, see, a lot of amount of glucose has been produced while photosynthesis. So what happens? Not all the glucose will be used, or not all the carbohydrate will be used by the plant. So in case, what will happen? The remaining part of the glucose, which is the extra carbohydrate, will be stored into the plant in the form of starch, and it is called stored form of energy. This stored form of energy is actually being used in a condition, you can say, during the winter season, because the sunlight becomes very low. There are hardly any leaves you will find on the plants, because just before the winters we have the fall season, जिसको हम पतझड़ का भी मौसम बोलते हैं. तो just winters के पहले वो आता है. So they shed all their leaves. तो leaves नहीं है तो who will perform photosynthesis? Because leaves have this chloroplast or this chlorophyll present into them, so they can't perform photosynthesis. So what will happen? So in that case, they require stored form of energy, and that is a starch. Because not about in India, but there are several parts of the world which lies completely in the northern region, where the plant completely sheds the leaves, and also the sunlight is not that much that it can perform photosynthesis. Okay, so at that time the starch is being used. In the same way, animals also, or you can say humans also, have the stored form of energy. Whatever food we eat, it is not always being used completely by our body, or it is being used to make the energy completely at that time only. But some part of the food is also being saved, and it is saved in the form of glycogen. Okay, now moving ahead in this topic, what will happen? See, we know that the plant performs photosynthesis, but what about photosynthesis? From which part of the plant perform photosynthesis? Okay, actually there is a series of reactions that takes place. Okay, like I said that 6 molecules of carbon dioxide and 6 molecules of water will come up. They will produce the C6H12O6, which is the glucose, the carbohydrate that we are talking about. Okay, and there is a 6 molecules of oxygen will also be produced. So now, what are the series of reactions? So there is a series of reaction in photosynthesis. I'm just writing this short. Okay, photosynthesis. What is the series of reaction takes place? If I talk about series of reactions, so first, light is absorbed. Okay, light is absorbed by whom? By chlorophyll. Okay, the light is absorbed by the chlorophyll. Now, what will be the second one? Light is absorbed, which will be used as a energy. Okay, but it can't be used directly, because the plant don't have that system that it can use the light energy directly. So this light energy, what happens with the light energy? Light energy gets converted into chemical energy. Okay, got it? Converted. Now what will happen? This chemical energy splits what? Water molecule into hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, so there is a splitting of water molecules takes place, and that into hydrogen and oxygen. So chemical energy used to split the water molecule into hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, what will be the next step? There will be a reduction. Reduction takes place. Reduction of whom? Carbon dioxide. Water we have used, okay, which was the first raw material. Next, the carbon dioxide. So what will happen with the carbon dioxide? There is a reduction of carbon dioxide takes place, and what will happen with it? It will convert into what? Into C6H12O6. Okay, which means the glucose will be made out of it, you can say, or it can get converted into carbon molecule. So this is a series of reaction that takes place in the leaf of a plant during the photosynthesis process. Just quickly go through it. Light is absorbed by the chlorophyll, which is present in the leaf. Light energy gets converted into chemical energy, and then it splits the water into hydrogen and oxygen molecule, whereas the reduction of carbon dioxide takes place into the carbon or into the C6H12O6 molecule. That is, the glucose is being made. Now, we were talking about like all these reactions are taking place, the series of reactions are taking place. So these series of reactions takes place immediately, one after the other. It would not be like that one reaction has taken place, now another reaction will take place after ages. No, it takes place immediately, one after the other. Okay, but there is an exception case has been there. Like, what about the plants, those who live in desert or those who grow in desert? Okay, because desert plants usually have more sunlight. Okay, so there is an exception that desert plants, when you talk about, because it's a high amount of sunlight has been there, so what happens? Basically, CO2, which is actually absorbed during the daytime by most of the plant, by the terrestrial plants, is actually absorbed, CO2 absorbed when? At night. Okay, so desert plants actually absorb CO2 at night. Now what will happen? It is absorbed at night. Now when it is absorbed at night, it is converted into what? Into an intermediate product. Okay, which means, because it's a night time, so definitely CO2 can be absorbed, but without the light energy, the photosynthesis process can't take place. So what it does, the plant will absorb the CO2 at night and will convert into an intermediate product. Okay, now during the daytime, just write it over there. So during daytime, what happens? Light energy absorbed and photosynthesis. Okay, fine. So this happens only for the deserted plants. Okay, those plants that grow on in the desert time. What happens? CO2 will be absorbed at night, will be converted into an intermediate product, because it's a high temperature out there, so definitely can't perform the photosynthesis at that period of time. Okay, so and what happens during the daytime? That converted intermediate product, light energy will be absorbed by the chlorophyll, and that intermediate product will react with water, and there will be a photosynthesis process that will take place. Okay, now there is a question that comes up, that why only, what is the basic reason of absorbing the CO2 at night by the deserted plants? Okay, all right, so we'll see it now. So what happens is, I just make a small diagram over here. This is a leaf. Okay, now this leaf, I said the leaves have the chloroplast, and the chloroplast has the chlorophyll. Okay, so now what happens is, just look at the leaves over here. Then these leaves have, I'm just making small things, small pores. These pores are very minute, so you can't see it with the naked eyes. You need some microscopic or some microscope for that. So the leaves basically have pores. Okay, tiny pores, these tiny pores on leaves. Okay, these tiny pores on leaves called as stomata. Okay, we still have a question, why CO2 is absorbed at night. So we'll get the answer of that question over here. Okay, so these are the stomatas, these small pores, these are the stomatas. What is the role of this stomata? The role of the stomata is to perform the gaseous exchange. Okay, performs gaseous exchange. Okay, this is the role of the stomata. It performs gaseous exchange. Other than that, water is also lost through these stomata. So these are the two major roles of the stomata that performs gaseous exchange during the photosynthesis process, and water is also lost through the stomata. Okay, other than that, other than leaves, okay, which other part of the plant can have the stomata? So I would say roots and stem have stomata too. Okay, fine. All right, now see what happens is, I'll just make a small diagram over here. So as I told you that they have small pores and there is a gaseous exchange that takes place, but it would not be like there will be a gaseous exchange takes place 24 hours. Okay, so it's not a 24/7 thing, it's a time. Okay, so now what happens, and there are certain conditions. So I just make a small diagram for the stomata. Okay, okay, I'll make it with the blue one. So just making a section of this one, so that I can explain the stomata. Okay, and let's just explain it. So this is a stomata, and I'm taking the stomata portion over here. Okay, so stomata is actually has these gate-like structures. These gate-like structures. Okay, and they have chloroplast present on them. Okay, so this is one, and I just make one more. Okay, all right. Now just look at it. These gates, okay, this gate actually protects the stomata from getting opened every time. Okay, so this is the gate are being called as guard cells. This is also a guard cell. Okay, they both are guard cell. What is the difference? We'll study it now. Okay, as I told you that there is a gaseous exchange that takes place, and also the water is being lost. Now there is a condition to open these gates up and close. Okay, as you can see that there is a difference between the size of these guard cells. Why is it so? This is the chloroplast. Okay, this is the chloroplast. Now, what is the difference? See, these guard cells, what they happen, this is a swelled one. Okay, so I just write swelled guard cells and shrinked guard cells. Okay, so the guard cells basically they get swelled up when the water flows into them. जब पानी इसके अंदर जाएगा ना, तब ये बड़े हो जाते हैं इस तरीके से फूल के. Okay, और जब ये फूल जाएंगे तो उसके बाद क्या होगा? They open. Okay, they open and they allow the gaseous exchange to take place. Like ऐसे open हो जाएंगे. If I just make a diagram over here, so of an opened guard cell, कुछ इस तरीके से ये ऐसे ओपन हो जाएंगे. ठीक है, ये जो गार्ड सेल यहाँ क्लोज है, ये कुछ इस तरीके से ओपन होंगे. ड्यूरिंग द फोटोसिंथेसिस प्रोसेस गैसेस का एक्सचेंज होगा और वाटर भी लॉस्ट होता है, क्योंकि जब ये ओपन होते हैं तो बहुत सा अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर गेट्स लॉस्ट. तो इस वजह से क्या होता है कि जो डेजर्टिक प्लांट्स है वो रात के समय पे ही ओपन होते हैं. द गार्ड सेल्स ओपन एट नाइट टाइम सो दैट कि वाटर जो है वो जल्दी से लूज ना हो, क्योंकि वहां पे गर्मी बहुत तेज होती है. तो इस वजह से क्या होगा, ये रात को ही ओपन होंगे और फिर क्लोज हो जाएंगे. पर टेरेस्ट्रियल प्लांट्स जो नॉर्मल हमारे यहाँ पे कंडीशंस है, उसके अंदर ये दिन में भी ओपन हो जाता है और वापस क्लोज हो जाता है. ठीक है, अब ये क्लोज कब होंगे? ये क्लोज हो गए, आप ये देखेंगे ये इनका साइज छोटा हो गया. यहाँ पे ये बड़े हैं, यहाँ पे ये छोटे हैं. जब पूरा पानी निकल जाएगा बाहर, जब द guard cells or the stomata will gonna lose all its water, then what will happen? It will shrink. और shrink होगा तो फिर ये वापस से क्लोज हो जाएगा. swell होगा तो ये ऐसा हो जाएगा, फिर वाटर ओपन हो जाएगा, वाटर लूज कर दिया, फिर shrink होके बंद हो जाएगा वापस से. ठीक है, सो ये छोटी सी इसकी इंफॉर्मेशन है. ऑलराइट, नाउ I hope you have understood all this topic. Okay, now quickly do two, three more things. Okay, we'll quickly do. Other than carbon dioxide and water, plants also require some important elements. ओके, कौन कौन से होते हैं? नाइट्रोजन, फॉस्फोरस, आयरन एंड मैग्नीशियम। ओके, ये इनको और चाहिए होता है, कैसे करेंगे ये? एब्जॉर्ब बाय रूट्स, सॉइल से मिलता है, ठीक है। इसके अंदर नाइट्रोजन जो है मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट है। ओके, क्यों इंपॉर्टेंट है मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट? बिकॉज यूज्ड इन सिंथेसिस ऑफ प्रोटीन्स और भी काफी दूसरे एलिमेंट्स के और प्रोडक्ट्स के सिंथेसिस में ही काम में आता है नाइट्रोजन, ठीक है। तो नाइट्रोजन को एक्सट्रैक्ट, नाइट्रोजन कहां से मिलेगा? सो नाइट्रोजन इज absorbed in inorganic form। इनऑर्गेनिक फॉर्म कौन सा है? नाइट्राइट्स एंड नाइट्रेट्स। ओके, और ऑर्गेनिक फॉर्म में बाय बैक्टीरिया, बैक्टीरिया बनाएगा इसको। और कहां से लेगा ये इस चीज को? थ्रू एटमॉस्फेरिक नाइट्रोजन। आई होप यू ऑल हैव स्टार्टेड द नाइट्रोजन साइकिल, नहीं तो अभी हम लोग आगे की क्लासेस में विल डिस्कस अबाउट इट। ओके, सो ये कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट एलिमेंट्स है जो हमारे ऑटोट्रॉफिक न्यूट्रिशन में काम में आते हैं, जो प्लांट्स या बैक्टीरिया जो डिपेंड करते हैं ऑटोट्रॉफिक न्यूट्रिशन में वो काम में लेते हैं। जस्ट लास्ट पॉइंट्स एक समरी कर लेते हैं। इंपॉर्टेंट एलिमेंट्स है अदर देन कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एंड वाटर, प्लांट के सर्वाइवल के लिए जो काम में आते हैं वो है नाइट्रोजन, फॉस्फोरस, आयरन एंड मैग्नीशियम। उसमें कहां से मिलेगा? एब्जॉर्ब्ड बाय द रूट्स प्रेजेंट इन द सॉइल। सॉइल में प्रेजेंट है तो रूट्स वहां से एब्जॉर्ब कर लेती हैं और ये प्लांट को मिल जाता है। इसके अंदर नाइट्रोजन सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, जो किस चीज के काम में आएगा? यूज्ड इन द सिंथेसिस ऑफ प्रोटीन्स एंड सम अदर मटेरियल्स व्हिच आर इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर द प्लांट। ओके, नाइट्रोजन इज एब्जॉर्ब्ड इन द फॉर्म ऑफ इनऑर्गेनिक फॉर्म, इनऑर्गेनिक फॉर्म में भी एब्जॉर्ब होगा, इनऑर्गेनिक फॉर्म में इन द फॉर्म ऑफ नाइट्राइट्स एंड नाइट्रेट के फॉर्म में एब्जॉर्ब होगा। अदर देन दैट ऑर्गेनिक फॉर्म में बाय बैक्टीरिया एब्जॉर्ब होता है, बैक्टीरिया कुछ कंपाउंड बनाता है और उसके थ्रू एब्जॉर्ब होता है। बैक्टीरिया कहां से लेगा? थ्रू एटमॉस्फेरिक नाइट्रोजन। ओके, so this is for the autotrophic nutrition. We have completed the autotrophic nutrition, heterotrophic nutrition and nutrition in human beings have been left, so we'll do it in the next class. I hope you have liked the lecture, and if you have any doubts, questions or suggestions, please drop them in the comment box below, and do hit the bell icon, and also like, subscribe and share our channel. Thank you. Bye.